All right, so this is a picture I've mostly whited out in order to protect the privacy of the model that was actually in there. I'm assuming it's a model, maybe it's a VA employee, I don't know, but I just whited it out so it didn't show their person. So this is going to be at workplace violence and specifically the US Department of Veterans Affairs. So I am someone that was basically subjected to workplace violence as defined by OSHA. I've covered that in other videos. I don't really want to cover that right now, but essentially it includes not just physical violence, but also verbal violence and threats, intimidation, bullying, all those kinds of things. Harassment can be forms of workplace violence. OSHA does a really great job of really defining what workplace violence is, and I love them for that. I couldn't agree more with their definition. So since I quit working at the VA about 6 years ago, and you guys will know my saga if you look at the playlist, they have initiated a workplace violence prevention program type thing. Sorry, my nose is kind of runny. Anyways, and they have also done some harassment prevention program, which was mandated by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which I have a very low opinion of. If you will know that if you've been watching for long enough. Yeah, so this is the poster I took a picture of the other day when I was inside the facility. I've seen it repeatedly inside the elevator. I finally decided to take a picture of it. And what it states is, um, we are partners in your healthcare. And it quotes, I am an aunt, a godmother, a baker, and a VHA housekeeper. VHA stands for Veterans Health Administration. So this is humanizing basically the person, humanizing them. And then it goes on to say, I hope you'll see all things I am and respect me like I respect you and all veterans. So this appears to be directed at military veterans as a workplace violence prevention thing. I think that's really interesting because while I do agree that it's good to try to prevent workplace violence in any capacity, when I worked there, yes, there were issues with potential violence that could come from veterans, but my issues really were from VA management and their employees, workplace violence types incidences that I was subjected to. And with bullying, intimidation, harassment, discrimination, whistleblower retaliation, those kinds of things is what I was subjected to. And I wasn't the only freaking one. It's pretty rampant inside the organization. So I'm kind of curious, I mean, why they feel the need to kind of target just military veterans and not like their own employees with these kinds of workplace violence prevention programming or whatever you want to call it, posters that they want to post up. Anyways, it says right here, if you look, it says workplace. Let me actually get to my other screen so I can show what I'm talking about. Okay, down here it says Workplace Violence Prevention Program, WVPP, because it wouldn't be the government if there were an acronym. VHA, Veterans Health Administration, is what that stands for, is a place for healing. Everyone's safety is everyone's responsibility. Okay, whatever. I say whatever because of the fact that I just know it's like all lip service. That's just the reality of it. And so this whole thing here should really be more inclusive and not just focus on military veterans, but also on their employees, which engage in workplace violence incidences throughout the nation. And they retain these people, especially if they're in management. I've seen this firsthand. And then their Office of General Counsel will defend absolutely anything. I know this because I was subjected to it as recently as 2021, earlier this year. That's right. So, when I worked at the VA, they had posters like these, not on workplace violence, because that wasn't a thing that hit the media yet, where they had to really push their propaganda. But the US Department of Veterans Affairs had basically their propaganda of their policy statements all over the walls, posted all over their walls. Oh, we don't discriminate. We don't retaliate. Our workers are protected. All is good here. Nothing to see. No safety problems. That's right. But the reality is it couldn't have been further from the truth. And so when I see this poster, I just think, oh, here's more propaganda. The VA propaganda machine's at work again. Go figure. And as I see the budget bloat with the US Department of Veterans Affairs, I become increasingly incensed over the fact that I have absolutely every reason to believe that in many cases the money is just being misused and not proper accountability or justice for it. And I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it, because not if, but when budget cuts come to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, guess who's going to suffer? It's going to be military veterans like me. That's who's going to suffer, not their shitty management at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, not their garbage people who should have been fired 20 years ago. It's going to be the military veterans. And I'm sick to death of these VA managers being allowed to call the shots, spend billions of dollars, mismanage billions of dollars with no accountability, still getting their fat paychecks, their big perks, their swanky offices in some cases with the executive level, that's for sure, and sometimes lower level managers, just depending on where they're at, and there's never really accountability or justice unless the Office of Inspector General gets involved, which they do a lot, because the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is a mismanaged mess. Okay, that's the truth. So today I was reading that the VA is going to be getting more funding yet again. And like in the VA in my region, the Alexandria, Louisiana Veterans Affairs Medical Center, one of their departments is really messed up. I actually just called the White House hotline this evening to kind of follow up and be like, hey, why hasn't anyone followed up with me about this specific issue? I still haven't heard back. I'm actually trying to put this on my screen right now, and I don't even, found it. White House Hotline Veterans Experience Office, VEO. Okay. So, one of the departments of the Alexandria, Louisiana Veterans Affairs Medical Center is really excellent, and really grateful for them. There's a lot of departments because this organization, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, is like a supersized, like, hot mess. Okay. So there's tons of departments. I mean, there's a department for everything. You'd be amazed. So anyways, one of the departments, which will remain unnamed, in the Alexandria, Louisiana Veterans Affairs Medical Center region of this country, Louisiana, is a hot mess. And I firmly believe that their leadership should be absolutely removed. I have informed officials of this in all ways possible through the surveys that have been sent to me. Because if you want my opinion, I'll give it. That's for sure. I actually read the letter, but omitted the names of the officials I believe should be removed. And I've communicated this to the White House hotline, to congressional reps, to Office of Inspector General, and I'm not letting up on it, because at the end of the day, like, if I don't advocate for change and bring forth these issues, then who is? Who is? I don't think I can just sit back in my chair and just expect for somebody else to do this for me. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of people and a lot of voices like mine to really get something done here. And so, I saw that more money is going to be allocated to the VA. This region of the country's VA, and this department is likely going to see a chunk of that money. And I'm just really upset by the fact that I know that things are not being managed properly here with one of these departments in particular. It's a pretty sizable department, and I know it's going to get worse. And I know there's a lack of oversight and accountability and justice, and that needs to change. And I'm just going to leave it at that.